Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. This is not your first time. Okay, stop with the drama, girl. So guys, I have a few things that I want to share. Okay, just a few things that I want to share. First and foremost, I've been on this journey to really let me get cards ready as I'm talking. I've been on this journey to really embrace my role as a teacher, because for the longest time I didn't even want to call myself that. But girl, that's what I am. That's what I love. And so what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've opened up more workshop type things. Okay. Have you heard me talking about eating for your frequency and the frequency needs and how that affects your health? Well, I've opened up that workshop. I haven't done that workshop since 2018 because y'all know I got some weird quirks. I only really do things once. I got to be forced to do it again. But this time, I'm not being forced. This time, I'm choosing it because I'm really stepping into this space of healing a part of me that feels very, let's be blunt here. I feel very insecure calling myself a teacher because society has programmed us to believe that we can't be any type of teacher without having some type of formalized education, certification, things like that. The things that I teach are quantum. They're far beyond what anyone could possibly teach me, unless, of course, they think like I do. Because the way I think is just weird, but it's efficient. And it's accurate. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a reading right now. I asked what this reading was about, and what I heard is trying to find the courage to speak up. Mm-hmm. 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 Who gotta say what to who? I'm saying. Okay, that card fell out. Let's leave that. Oh, I didn't even see you guys have been commenting. Let's see. Good morning, guys. Good morning. I did not sleep until super late last night, and then I woke up at 5 or 6 this morning. And it was amazing. I feel tired, but I don't. So I don't know what that's about. But I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to embrace it. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do a girl workout today. I haven't even been to the gym yet. Let's see what let's see what happens there. I think I'm reaching such high levels of frequency that even herbal tea is too much. Because I had herbal tea yesterday. Too much. Yeah, I don't even feel wired. I just feel ready for life. Whatever the heck that means. I feel ready for life. I'm gonna yeah, you know what? Let me hold on before I hold on. I gotta shh. Shh. Hold on. Wait. Okay. All right. Ba-da-ba-boo. Ba-da-ba-boo. Boo, boo, boo. Emmy loves her goldfish and Chihuahua too. That's Emmy's world. This is too much. What the hell's going on? What is going on? I remember you saying not to call you a teacher a long time ago and made sure not to, but I've learned so much from you, and you've definitely been a great teacher for so many. Oh my gosh, you still remember that, Billy? I was just like, no, you cannot call me a teacher. Oh, that's what you are. I know, I know. I have weird quirks. It's fine. It adds to my charm. Okay. Oh. So I will say this before I begin. I wasn't planning to go to the gym today, but I'm saying Marlene is my friend at this point, right? I'm gonna call her my friend. And the way I see it, like if my friend Marlene over here is gonna always be riding my ass, I should at least work it out so she has an ass shelf to sit on. Do you like that? She likes that. All right, let's get started. Whew. I think my niece has been rubbing off on me. My brother keeps sending me videos of her. She changes outfits like 2, 3 times a day. It's always a new like princess dress. And she'd be like, yeah, no, absolutely. I'm the type to make sure that my friends are comfortable. So if she's gonna ride my ass all day, the way she does all day, I want her to have a shelf to sit on. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's be serious. Something I'm incapable of. Okay, so winter was upside down, right? Whatever was created, whatever manifested from that upside down situation, it's also upside down. And so what's happening right now is that balance is being initiated. Okay. Melba, she said LA face with an Oakland booty. Ooh, more like Pacific Island face. I don't think I have an LA face at all. Initiation and balance. So, balance is being initiated because of the things that were really upside down that got manifested. I mean, there's needing to be this very, let's just exhale for a moment. There needs to be this very clear intention to correct the imbalance that occurred, right? You guys are too much in the comments right now. Containment. So the issue has been, I guess, somewhat contained. I'm assuming this is an issue with another person. I guess one thing that I have grown to love about Marlene is that if she likes you, she likes you. If she doesn't, good luck. The venom, girlfriend, the venom coming out your mouth as you describe that person. Like, no, I get it. I get it. But, don't rub off your toxicity on me. I'm in a good space today. So there's a containment that occurred. And whatever that containment was, it was definitely something that allowed um allowed for a little bit more of the freedom to go further away from the thing that's been very deeply and intensely crippling you. You know what I mean? So this is about stepping into a role of alchemist, being able to alchemically change something, not just paint it or polish it so that it seems as though it's nicer. Excuse me, but actually change it. Change it all the way, right? All right. Okay. I know. I hear you. I hear you. Okay. So this masculine energy is going through something. Is going through something and it's going through something that's going to address the lack of awareness. That's part of what needs to be alchemically changed. This needing to be held accountable for the very things that whoever this is for you, it doesn't have to be a male, it's just a masculine type energy. But whoever this masculine energy is, whether it's you or someone in your life, they are very, okay, I didn't want to use the word, but that was the word that came to mind. So I'll just use it. They are very desperately needing to understand how their decisions, their chosen coping mechanisms were the very things that led them to find other coping mechanisms that were just not appropriate. And that lack of appropriateness of what was selected was the very causation that led to the effect that has absolutely hurt so deeply whoever this is. They're like just so floundering in their own space. Oh, that's right. I can't put any lip stuff on today. Okay, so I can't do that. Um, have you ever seen this video? It's this couple, they're kind of like in the ocean. It's pretty zoomed in on them. And the male in the video is he's legit looking like he's gonna drown. He's like, oh my god, right? Like so wild, like someone help this man. And this, I guess his girlfriend comes and she's kind of like, I guess has a floaty and she gives him the floaty, the blow up floaty, and grabs him by the arm like you would a toddler, like like that. And she's like, stand up. And he stands up and the water's like up to his chest. So that's kind of what's happening. Someone thinks they're floundering because they've sat down for so long and merely accepted the poor treatment that they've been given. I'm not going to fight anyone, Marlene. Marlene is like, okay, girl, if you're going to have a friend label, you can't be encouraging the hood to come out of me. Don't be inviting the ratchet out. Like, that's not okay. That is not okay. Don't. You got to keep me in a space of peace, right? I think that's something that we all need to kind of make a point, set that intention that we let the people in our lives know that in order for you to remain in my life, you cannot encourage the ratchet to come out of me. It's a power ratchet. Hey, Carrie. Okay, so the intensification, things are going to get less, the craziness, the insanity. There's something that is kind of creating some peace for this person right here. They're creating some peace. Maybe they were hyperventilating from all the flutery, all the flutery that's occurring, right? They were just playing their flute for so long at band camp. I gotta stop. And I want to apologize, guys. I'm taking everything as an opportunity to make a joke out of it. Okay. Try to be serious for like 15 minutes, 30 minutes. You could do it, girl. You could do it. Be serious. So, someone has been expelling too much of their air, too much of their power. They're in a state of like hyperventilation. In case you don't know, with hyperventilation, what ends up happening is that you're breathing at such a fast rate that you are messing up the very finely tuned um, ratio between carbon dioxide and oxygen, right? Too much oxygen is not going to be good for you. That's just not good. So the way you correct hyperventilation, sometimes you guys will see me like And what that is that it's blocking the flow of air. And so instead of me pulling in more oxygen, I'm actually breathing in my exhale, which is carbon dioxide. And that is creating the ability to rebalance all of that. You know what I'm saying? Um, I mean, you got to rebalance it. And sometimes what you need to rebalance this with, like this fear of that forward movement, is by taking a good hard look at what you're leaving behind and just being grateful that the batshit crazy person you're leaving behind is left behinded. You know what I'm saying? Marley, know what I'm saying? I'm still, maybe like 8 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll fight someone. I'm good. Yeah, no, for real. My aggression needs it. These days, I'm a little too busy for that. I got a lot of things going on, and I'm choosing to live more in a positive state where I'm looking for solutions rather than compounding the problems. Right? Because I mean, girl, that that person you're talking about. Mhm. Petty peppermint over there. Mhm. Mhm. It strikes me as this toxic feminine. I'm just gonna talk shit real quick. I'm gonna take this opportunity to talk shit. If you can't stand talking shit right now, you just earmuffs. Put earmuffs. I'll go like this when I'm done. I need to get it off my chest. This is the person, you got your earmuffs on? You do. This is a person who has become so accustomed to getting their way. It reeks of unbalanced, spoiled as fuck, only child energy. She gave me a high five. That's what it reeks of. Spoiled as fuck, entitled as fuck, only child energy. I could totally visualize myself sitting on their face and farting. I have a high protein diet. Oh my God, I'm choking on just the thought of what that smells like. Oh Lord. And I'm detoxing. So that's excessive. Mm. Mm. This is really gonna fuck up my readings because it's gonna be real riled the F up. And I'm doing all of my levels today, checking my cortisol levels throughout the day. I know there's gonna be a spike for afternoon because you riled me the fuck up is what you did. Now the ratchet's out. I'm saying, told you. Okay, that's me extracting the ratchet. I threw it away. We're good again. Okay, respect. So this is about finding a space of self-respect, right? And I think for whoever this is, poor unfortunate soul. Oh, shit. You caught yourself a siren, boo. That's what happened. That's what happened. You caught yourself a siren. And I don't know, you thought it was like mermaid type vibes, but here's the thing. Let's just take a breather. Sirens kill people. They lure you in with the sweetness of their song, and then they lull you, and then they you. So that poor unfortunate soul. Yeah. If you've escaped that, don't go back to it. I'm saying don't go back to it. Like, mhm. Mm, mhm. Do not go back to that. I'm telling you right now, they're sucking the life out of you. I'm saying. The foundation was upside down to begin with. That's not something you're going to fix. When the foundation is upside down to begin with, that is not something you are going to fix. You're going to have to tear the whole damn thing down. When you build a house, what would I give if I could live out of these waters? I love The Little Mermaid. Anyways, if you build a house on a foundation that is not good, what's going to have to happen is you're going to have to destroy the entire frame of the house in order to properly lay that foundation. I'm not just talking about mere cracks in the foundation. That's easy peasy. You can repair that. You could do whatever stuff to repair that. But when the foundation itself is not properly laid, meaning the ground beneath it has not been compacted properly, there's no rebar, there's no none of that. Like, you got to tear the whole motherfucking thing down and start from scratch, which it's not an issue because really life tears us down day to day. Every day, daily, it's a process of tearing down other parts of yourself. Now, here's the problem. When the bitch is stubborn enough to think that she's literally always right and is just a victim, stank cooter energy. That stank cooch energy. I'm not about that. I'm sure there's some vaginal suppositories that they could use to correct that issue, but I'm not an OBGYN and I'm not sticking nothing nowhere. They're going to have to do that shit on their own. That's all I'm saying. That is all that I'm saying. That is a nutter butter. They get stuck in your throat and you need some almond milk. Leave the fucking cows alone and let their babies have their breast juice. You need some almond milk. And don't drink soy milk because it's estrogenic. It's going to mess you up. You don't want too much estrogen. I'm saying maybe that's why some people be acting too bitch ass. I'm sorry. We're grown. We're not in high school anymore. You're not a young adult anymore, Emmy. Go get your Mascatool bag. Put the Mascatools back in the bag. Okay? You just put it away. Put it away. That's me taking it for myself and putting it away. So, but seriously, I mean, it makes sense though, right? It makes sense. If I was there or present with the bitchassery was happening, I would have been like, you need to lay off the estrogen. You need some kind of something. It's too much. It's not balanced. And that's the thing. It's too much. This person has been so like front and center. This is like a very tactical maneuvering of toxic femininity. That's what it is. You know, the crying to other females so that the other females will jump on whoever this masculine energy is. That's my favorite type of fight to involve myself in. I'm saying that I'm not there anymore. I'm not going back. All right. So here's the thing. You have to surrender to what your intuition and celestial teacher are telling you. Can I be your teacher? I'm saying, you know, you got to surrender to this. Hear what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying really quick. Okay, the amount of energy that you're putting into saving a hoe, because I mean, are you the captain? They give you a hat? They give you the special captain hat. You got a peg leg now, right? You Captain Morgan. You doing Captain Morgan pose? Okay, stop that shit. Halloween is done. You can't have Halloween 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Stop that shit right now. That's what your teacher's telling you. I promise you, when you stop that shit and you surrender to the process that you're in, which is a breaking down of the gender roles and societal programming that's telling you need to put up with this bullshit for what? For money? Baby boo, you're capable. You can make your own money. For what? For some boom boom, there are billions of people in this world who I'm sure at least a few of them are willing to boom boom with you. Go on, I don't know what the sites are. Go there. Go there. But stop sacrificing your dignity and your sovereignty for some mediocre stank cooter energy. That's mediocrity. That's mediocrity. Mediocre bitches act that way. If you like mediocre, that's fine, but don't complain to me about it. That's the bottom line. Me, I don't like mediocre. It doesn't have to be flashy, it doesn't have to be bougie, but it has to be at the caliber that I prefer, which is what? A caliber that's worthy of a woman like me. So maybe the issue here isn't the person, but your belief that that's what you deserve, that you're seeking the type of people that are willing, more than willing to punish you for what? For being hard to control? Is it because you're wild? Are you a wild soul? You a wild woman? Yeah, whip them with your thorns and then smile as you walk away. Because really, they were going to cry about it anyways. No matter what you do, as long as it's not what they demand and feel entitled to, they're going to cry about it anyways. Who cares? Who cares? Focus on your growth. Focus on being centered in what you need to do for yourself in your life, for your well being. If being with someone, being in someone's presence is something that consistently you have to find a way to cope, look at their history. First, let's do this, okay? Let's really do this. And Marlene's asking me to. I'm petty enough to do it right now. Okay, so if you are with someone who consistently dates people or are within a relationship with people who have substance struggles, you got to ask yourself why. Okay. Are they someone that needs to feel like they are the savior? There's also this other component that my BFFer, my buffer over here, is pointing out that maybe this person is driving those individuals to the point where they need to cope because of that person. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So I am someone who's in full support of the healing of those who have struggles with substances. I don't feel like that is something that should be joked about. I don't feel like that's something that should necessarily be held as a justification for the condemnation of a person who's already greatly suffering. But we have to really take a good hard look at the history, especially the dating history of someone, and how that dating history can help to illustrate what their psychology is. I'm serious. I'm serious. You know, sometimes their psychology is in a space where this is what they grew up with. And, you know, unfortunately, that became the norm for them. And that's why they seek this out, because this is the norm. They don't think they're worthy of a healthier connection. They don't know what a healthier connection is. But sometimes, you know, especially if they grow up in a perfectly fine home and they're consistently looking for people who are just struggling so deeply with life, it's like it's because they know you're already teetering on the edge of something, and that gives them power over you, especially if they're using financial power, financial control. I will say this with no fucking hesitation. I am totally a person who, if you try and exert some type of financial control over me, motherfucker, I would rather be homeless for a prolonged period. It's peaceful. I don't got to deal with your shit. Keep your fucking money. Use that money to pay for the surgical procedure to take the stick out your ass. How about that? I'm totally that person. But I see and I know, I recognize and accept that there are many people who are afraid of truly being independent, of the process that you have to enter into to become independent, autonomous, so long as you have to continue depending on another person and they know this, some people are just horrendous with that. Some people will take that as the opportunity to have their way with you. I say this as someone who was, and I still am, I am a stay-at-home mom, and my husband was the sole breadwinner for about 17, 18 years. I rely solely on him to make sure everything, all our needs are met. I never had that issue. Why? Because you're going to have a fucking problem with me if you're going to make that an issue. Because if you want to play issues, I mean, baby boo, I can be toxic as fuck if you want me to be. I prefer not to, but I mean, we definitely can go there. We definitely can. And I've worked real hard on myself to not allow the programs from earlier life to continue to filter through, to bleed into my current existence as an adult, right? Never had to do that type of thing where it's like one time he said, I don't even remember what he said at this point, but it was very, very early on. And I was like, don't play that shit with me, because if I'm going to get a job, which I can, and I can, what the fuck is the point of you being here if you're not going to do your part and I'm going to have to do all the, what do I need you for? And that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. This knowledge that, hey, I'm taking care of another half of a total existence. I'm doing my part. I am absolutely doing my part, and I appreciate you doing your part. You're not just working. That takes a lot, but I'm not just sitting at home, because I do a lot. Knowing that we're in a partnership and establishing early on, this has to be a healthy partnership, or that's it. I'm not willing to do that shit. I'm just not. I'm not willing to repeat worn out cycles that we saw our parents do. I'm not willing to repeat that. I'm not willing to repeat any of the shit that I saw, that I had to live through. I'm not willing to. And the moment I feel like you're trying to force me to, I will fight the fuck out of that. But, my husband's smart and he's powerful in his own right. So we didn't do that cycle. We didn't do that cycle because I'm not willing to. And when he saw I wasn't willing to, he's like, well, I'm not willing to either. And so we have a healthy partnership where we both understand that we're both contributing to what we're building. And I think trying to find the courage to speak up has a lot to do with first acknowledging your contribution to everything, whether it's the good things, the accomplishments, the accolades, or your contribution to the ugliness, the toxicity, the continuation of cycles that need to end. But I mean, you want to keep doing that, you can go right ahead. I promise you're not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. You're going to keep doing the same cycles over and over. When you're in a trauma bond, that person will not allow you to heal. They will only allow you to heal to the degree that they can reel you back in for another cycle of the bullshit. You're a yo-yo. You're their emotional yo-yo. They send you out only to tug you and pull you back in. Why do you allow this? Because there is a part of you that feels like this is what you deserve. I promise you, you deserve much more than what you understand right now. But if you put the work in yourself to cultivate your understanding of your value, intrinsic worth, not something you have to earn, you have an intrinsic worth, then you can begin to understand, like, no, I don't need to deal with that. Yeah, it might create more struggle now, but later down the line, this is an investment I'm making into myself, putting into myself. And later down the line, it's going to pay out massively. And pay out massively. What process did I personally have to go through in order to become the person I am right now? A person that is capable of acknowledging my worth, what I deserve, and all of that. What did I have to go through? And it's no secret, and I'm not even ashamed. I had to go through technical homelessness and transient existence. Not for a month, not for 5 months. I'm talking about for 2, maybe 3 years, by choice, because I refused to continue, because I deserve more than that. I had to find myself. That was the investment I put in myself. So maybe even a year after we stopped, choosing a transient life, I was still in the process of integrating what I was learning through the course of the time we were on the road. So it's about 4 years, I'm going to guesstimate, right? Went through this process for about 4 years, very intensive process. For every year that I was in that, I now own a company and sit as CEO. So, no. My fear that it would make me money hungry, my fear that it would change me and I would suddenly not give a shit about people. Yeah, no, that was ridiculous. Took me a while to realize that. That was ridiculous. I'm already who I am. I can't change that. Even when I don't have, I still want to give. That's who I am. That's intrinsic to me. And so this thing of life changes you. No, it actually brings specific aspects out of you is all it does. It brings these aspects out of you, and sometimes you like that aspect, sometimes you don't. But you are already fully formed by the time you were 5. There's science to back that up. You're basically fully formed in your perception and personality by the time you're 5 years old. This is the very reason why I literally give up my entire existence for the first 2 years of my child's life. For each of my children, I did this. For each of them. For each of them, I carried them nonstop, like I lived in a village using cloth. I used a tribal type wrap. They were literally on me all the time. That's fucking exhausting. But you know what? That solidifies a bond that will last through the entire lifetime. That increases the likelihood of intelligence being elevated. And my children are ridiculously intelligent, like ridiculously intelligent. I mean, just their vernacular, their ability to comprehend, their ability to see what isn't even being spoken. I'm saying, you were already you by the time you were 5. Stop with the mumbo jumbo bullshit that you keep telling yourself to justify remaining in the same circumstance that serves only to punish you. You don't need that. Start taking a look at how your childhood has affected you. Now, this is not the opportunity for you to talk crap about your parents. Hey, they're regular people. They did what they could with what they knew. Some are worse than others, some are better. And it is what it is. But you're not that child anymore. So you got to go past that. Okay? You got to go past that. What can you assess now that you can speak up about, either within yourself or to the person you need to say it to? What can you say now? What can you see that needs to be said? This lack of integrity that you've been exposed to has greatly affected your sense of self-worth and strength. The learning is done. You've been excused from the classroom. Let it go. Let the door close. Let the door close. You don't need to keep taking that same course. You feel like you have no choices, but you're going to need to make other choices if you want balance. Trying to find the courage to speak up. What do you need to say? Tell me, I'll say it for you. What do you need to say? Who do you need to say it to? I'm literally that mofo that will be like, you want to say that you can't say? Okay, point to the one you want to say it to. And I'm totally like, you're going to get mad because I told you that this person who you have intimidated to the degree that they can't speak for themselves, you're going to get mad You gonna get mad that finally you're being given the opportunity to be aware of what the issue is? Oh, I see. I hope you see too. You're the problem, not them. You are the problem. Anyone who doesn't want to hear the ways in which they are negatively impacting other people's self healing journey is the motherfucking problem. I should have stayed joking around because now it's getting real intense. I'm saying. No one has the courage to say it. I'll say it. When you cannot hear because you refuse to hear the ways in which your behavior is affecting everyone in your environment, you are categorically the fucking problem. Lindsay, please quote me on that. Lindsay's been amazing. She's been amazing with taking quotes from the live streams and creating visual axioms with them, right? And there was one, someone commented, and I actually checked my notifications yesterday and I read it and I was like, I didn't say that. Hold on. Hello, I'm live streaming. I'm live streaming. No West Side.
I made it. I just I'll talk to you later though.
You made it home from Bozeman?
Bozeman, Montana.
But Montana didn't kill you?
Nah, man. I left my footprints in the snow though.
Did you leave lemonade in the snow?
Twice.
Twice? Did you take your Vitals? What was your oxygen at?
Barely. The oxygen was pretty tough the first 3 days, and after the fourth day, we're about to go home. That's when I start feeling better, like you bastards.
You take chlorophyll. Chlorophyll will help to build enough hemoglobin to withstand, but it takes like a week or two.
I didn't take any of that.
Hey, I'm live streaming. I'll call you back. Bye.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'll call you back.
I got to hang up first. He always hangs up on me. I hang up first. He's like, West Side. He almost died in Bozeman. I literally was like, I would text him and be like, vitals check, homie. You still breathing? I bet you he didn't even bring his freaking oximeter with him. I am the consummate mother. Had I known, I would have been like, okay, he's going to need this, this, and this. Which one of you are going to be calling him and texting him to ensure he's taking his meds? Okay, we're going to need visual confirmation. You can't just text him. You need to text him to let him know 30-minute countdown before your meds. And then we're going to FaceTime at the 25-minute mark so you can prepare. And he over here, like, I used to do that to him when I had to leave California, right? And I was serious. I was serious too. And he was like, do you want to know what color my shit was? I was like, oh yeah, did you go? And he goes, you're nasty. And I was like, oh, you're joking. Okay, that's fine. It's all a joke. It's all a joke until you need the ER and suddenly you're calling your sister to come do her brujeria stuff to make sure you don't. I'm like, yeah. So he survived. It's fine. Now he has no excuse to visit me on my mountain, right? What is elevation of Bozeman? It's not that high. Even I wasn't affected by it. Let's see, 4,817 feet. That's not that high. That's not that high. Let's see. How high is Denver? Because that's a mile. Okay, so Denver is 5,279. And then when I was at sea level for a while, 6,522 feet above sea level, that fucked me up. And then this one, Montrose, I almost died. that drive to Montrose, I like, yeah, no. I was like, take me lower. I was gonna die. Okay. So, anyways, limitless, recognizing that whatever this is, it's trying to convince you you're much more limited in your perception, in your options than you actually are. Right? Here's a word of advice. This is not just my opinion. Like, I really hope you take this in as life advice. Okay? Um my logic is this. When it comes to romance, romantic partnerships, things like that, if you cannot trust the person to have a joint checking account with you, you should not be with that person. If you have to question where that person is and now you're worried they're doing things that's going to be mad disrespectful to you, you should not be with that person. In regards to friendships and visitors, if you have to hide where your purse is when you leave the room, they should not be in your life. If you have to lock doors, lock cabinets, lock things because you don't know if they should not be in your life. And that's that. If I cannot trust you to that degree, I cannot trust you with me. And that's that. I will not invest in you. I will not trust you. Therefore, I will not invest in you. I will not invest my time or my energy in you and cultivate a relationship that you are going to disappoint me in at some point because you're subpar. Your integrity is subpar. I don't expect you to be perfect. I don't expect you to have all the answers and never have, periods where you fall flat on your ass or even on your face. I'll help you out. But if you have no integrity, you're subpar. You're not worthy of me and what I bring. And I have to be okay with that. Because guess what? I am not Captain Morgan, and you are not the hoe I am going to save. I don't think so. I'm finally understanding the value of the way I love. I love wholeheartedly, without explanations, without problems, without pride, right? So if I cannot trust you due to your lack of integrity, I cannot allow myself to love you. And baby boo, that saying of the heart wants what the heart wants, not when it's run by a Capricorn. Because that Capricorn energy will be like, I'll ram the shit out of you, heart. I will ram you, sit the fuck down, heart. And heart will be like, okay. I'm telling you, thank God for my Capricorn moon because you pair that with my Pisces sun. I'm like, all right, we just need to turn the feelings off. Okay. Energy conservation, carrying on. And to make it extra, it wasn't enough to have my moon as Capricorn. Soul was like, sprinkle some cap in that Venus. So I'm like, you problematic? Thank you for showing me. I gotta go. I gotta go. I don't need none of that. But I promise you, if you're not problematic, when I love you, it's hard to stop. It's hard to not give to the degree that I feel you're worthy of. And most people who have experienced my love to that degree, they're like, stop giving me shit. Stop. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. Like it's enough. You don't have to do that. I feel bad now because that's how I love. So yeah, your girl needs to have standards in regards to who she loves in that way, because I promise you, not everyone is deserving of that type of wholehearted, unconditional love. No joke. No joke. My cousin was teasing me a few years back because she's like, oh, cousin over here, she's straight up ride or die. She don't give a fuck what you do. If she love you, she don't care what you do. She's just like, you need help. Yeah. And then I didn't know she was saying that, but because I love her daughter, my niece, my goddaughter. And she asked me in front of a group, hey, what would you do if I called you and told you that your Kaylee baby um, got in trouble at preschool and bit another kid? And immediately I was like, I would ask you, what the fuck did that little shit do to my baby to make her aggressive? She is not aggressive. That kid, I'm sure, deserved it. I hope she bit him twice. And they all started laughing and they're like, oh shit, I'm like, why are you guys laughing? And my cousin told me, like, I was telling them, you don't give a shit. When you love someone, you don't give a shit. You're an enabler. And I was like, I am. I am. Because, yes, you best believe I would go to my niece's freaking preschool. I'd be like, which one of you got bit? Because now I'm going to spank you. I don't even believe in spanking. I don't believe in spanking. I don't believe in timeout. Why? Because the first teaches violence, solves the problem, and the second teaches the child that being on their own and autonomous is a punishment. No, celebrate yourself, boo. There's nothing wrong with you. So, bold vision, big bold vision, allowing yourself to see things in the way that you need to see, right? Just really allowing yourself to see that, allowing yourself to see what you've been through, allowing yourself to be aware of not just what you've survived, but the way in which you moved through that survival scenario. Did you, and the feeling is like things got this bad because even though you were placed in a space of needing to survive what was being done to you, you still continued to try and be loving, to try and be patient, to be present, like you put effort into it. And I mean, oh no, maybe I'm petty, but I'd be like, that's an extra FU once I go. Like, I, no, that's an extra FU once I go. Bring it into form. So you already know what's happening. You know what the issue is. You're trying to find the courage to speak up. Aside from speaking up on what happened, how it transpired, and the way you were treated, you probably need to begin speaking up on the things that you want to manifest, right? The things that you want to manifest. Card number 5, follow your own rhythm, allowing yourself to again shift and flow through this process. Like you have such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul. That's all I can say. I just got to leave that alone. There's a beauty within you that you haven't recognized yet. But just because you haven't recognized it does not mean the people in your environment haven't either. A lot of what's going on has to do with jealousy. It has to do with the aggressor. I think there's an aggressor in this situation. There is an aggressor that is very insecure, probably because they smell their own stank cooch energy. I'm just saying. And so there's been a lot of compete, compare, a lot of insecurities coming into play. And it's almost like this thing of you've been really, really going out of your way to try and reassure that person. You know what? Insecurity is insecurity is insecurity. Let them soak in that, you know? Let them marinate in that. Release a dark wound, let love live. So long as you hold that rotting fish, it's going to continue to rot. Yes. It's going to continue to rot. You can't even wash the stench off of that. That's not something that you can fix. That's not something that you can save. Right? So my mom comes from a third world country, so do I. And it was in the third world. It was a thing where she came from extreme poverty, and what she was taught was to never be wasteful with food. So I remember being fairly young, and she was constantly busy at work. And one day she realized that the meat she had bought was going bad. And so she says, it's not rotten yet. And I was like, but it stinks. And she goes, you just have to boil it and then cook it with vinegar. And so she starts boiling it and it's wafting around the house. And I was like, you lied. That doesn't fix it. It still smells rotten. And yeah, you can't. There are certain things like, maybe some fruit where if it's not a soft fruit, you can just cut off the area where the mold is growing. But there's certain fruit where it's like, no, you gotta toss the whole thing out. You can't use that anymore. You gotta toss it out. You know, you don't have the courage to say it. Let me say it for you. Some people are just fucking trash. Regardless of how much money is involved, some people are just trash. They're trash in the way they conduct themselves. They're trash in the way they treat other people. Basura es basura. I'm telling you. Okay? You're not going to go and try and save trash. Save that for the people who are worthy of the investment of you. I got no problem looking and sounding like the asshole, being your voice when you can't find it. For some of you, you're dealing with a trash ass person. Maybe it's like Basura Bob. Are you dealing with a Basura Bob? Basura Betty? Yeah, no, just leave that alone. I'm trying to make a joke of it to lessen the sting of the reality of what I'm saying, because I'm sure for some of you there's so much resonance. It's like it's making you feel bad. Like, fuck, why did I put up with it for so long? You want to know why? Why did you put up with it for so long? Do you want to know why? Because you're a good person. And you were desperate to bring the reflection of you, your goodness, out of them. Something that doesn't exist in them. You were desperate to bring that out. You put up with it not because you were weak, it's because you're a good person. I've done that quite a bit over the years. I've done that so much, putting up with trash as fuck people who I know are using me. I know their intentions, but I put up with it because there's this part of me that just wishes, like, if I just love you enough, you'll be the good person I know is in there. What if it's not a good person in there? What if that's just an accumulation of the energy they siphon from you? Ooh. Mm. Mm. That right there. Woo. And you're like, well, why would they siphon the energy? That's the energy that was siphoned from you. That's information that's used against you. That's how they know exactly which buttons to push. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been through that so many times, more times than I care to admit. I'm talking, if not double digit, triple digit. I'm serious. Yeah. No, I'm not weak though. I'm a lover. The problem was not that I was weak or dumb. The problem was that I allowed myself to be exploited in hopes that I could heal something that wasn't broken. That's who they are. That's how they are. You know what helped jolt me out of that mindset? I was going to try and hold on to a connection. It was a really fucked up connection. I was going to try and hold on to it. I'm totally not someone that fights for other people, right? Like the moment you present me with a situation where it's like, okay, so I got to choose between you and someone else. So give me a reason to choose you. I'll be like, oh, it's all good. Yeah, I don't want to make problems. Just, you know? And it was this one time I had two business associates and I knew they were friends. And one of them decided to get real fucking wicked with me out of nowhere. literally out of nowhere. For me, it was out of nowhere because I believed the fakery and fuckery that they presented me, right? I was so desperate to have a friend that I believed it. So it comes from a space of desperation on my end. That's important to acknowledge. And so that all played out the way it did. And then that second person, I felt was like kind of stuck in the middle. And it was this thing of I felt we were developing an actual friendship. And I was like, I'm going to fight for this. Like, I want them to stay my friend. And then the empath, nurturer, lover, giver in me was like, they were friends. They're genuine friends. They've been genuine friends. And then there was you. The three of you together were business associates. Don't put them in that situation. That's not right. What you're fighting for is to convince someone to choose you over another. Don't do that. That's not right. And so I went to that other person and I was like, hey, I'm realizing that I put you in a really tough situation. And, it's creating an issue where you're probably feeling torn. And I've come to the realization and the honest truth is that the two of you are genuine friends, and you and I, we're more like business associates that are trying to develop a friendship. And out of respect for you and consideration for what I'm doing, I'm just going to step back. I'm going to halt business projects and step back and kind of just wish you nothing but the best and hope that, all this kind of just fizzles out and everyone can just do their own thing. Eventually, the trash starts to stink. Because as soon as I said that with nothing but love and respect, literally love and respect, like, I don't want to do that to you. They showed the reality of why they were around. I mean, the rage, the manipulative rage, the wrathful behavior. Because guess what? I was never a friend. I was a fucking meal ticket. I understand who I am. I understand how I function. I have energetic abundance in excess of what people could possibly comprehend. And because I'm not ready to receive that, I'm still working on my courage to receive. I give so freely to others and anyone who does business with me. Your business succeeds in ways that makes me happy for you. Genuinely. And there will be people who will see this because there's quite a few of you who are like this as well. There are people who will see this and they'll exploit that. And the moment they realize they can no longer benefit from you, they will go out of their way to punish you. For people who've always wondered, why did Emmy leave Facebook? That's why. That's why. You want the platform so bad? Keep it. Take the whole thing. I'm going to excuse myself. I don't need to be around trash anymore. What I need to do is work on the wounds that exist within me that have yet to be recognized and attended to, because those are the wounds that allowed for you to coexist in my space. And wouldn't you believe, these two fucking pendejas. Emmy's trying to ruin our business and take our customers. No, you fucking puta. That was my customer that went to you because I told them to and they trust me. I didn't have to talk shit. I didn't. All I had to do is just walk away. You know how powerful it is to just walk away? And instead of being broken by that circumstance, you allow yourself to recognize The words that need to be said are to me, myself, and I. And take that as an opportunity to begin the discovery process, where you are discovering within yourself the parts of you that allow that type of trash into your life. When you lose something precious, you don't replace it with trash just to hold place. No. You see, I think a perfect analogy for this is if you lose a tooth, maybe a front tooth, and for a lot of people that's a cause for anxiety, a cause for embarrassment. It's just a tooth. It's no biggie, but still that's how you feel, right? So rather than, doing what needs to be done in order to raise the funds to properly address the tooth that fell out, that's causing you to decline in your quality of life, you stick a chiclet in there, piece of gum, a chiclet made of sugar. You know what that does? It rots your other teeth, creating more problems. Never allow trash to enter into your life to replace the precious thing that you lost. Allow life to show you what it's about, what that pain is about, and why you had to go through that, right? Against the grain in reverse. So some of us were afraid to go against the grain, but how do you smoothen yourself? How do you properly shape yourself? How do you become that polished jewel? How? If you're so busy being afraid to go against the grain. Card number 10, releasing allegiances. It's time to let that go. Like, I cannot emphasize that enough. It is time to let that go. It is time to give yourself the silence, the stillness, and the peace to begin healing. The visual that I'm being given right now is that this is a person who held a bejeweled dagger, and in their duplicity, they convinced you that you stabbed yourself. How could it be you stabbing yourself when it was their hand controlling the dagger? You did this. You messed it up. No, it was messed up from the start. It was a trauma bond from the start. People say I'm cold. I say I'm a beautiful blizzard. Hey, don't fuck around in winter and find out, okay? Don't enter into my environment not properly prepared for the type of weather you're going to be immersed in. Because when you do that kind of duplicity, wickedness on me, I don't really give a shit what you say. And you're crying, so everybody cries at some point. So you have trauma, so everybody got trauma. Oh, because you're not trying to understand what's happened to me. Okay, well, shit, you don't fucking understand or want to understand what you continue to do to people. What happened to you already happened. You still doing this. So what do I care? Yeah, that's how I get when people are like that. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There was this one person years ago, as a very young adult, and they had this habit of anytime that someone was going to question something that they're insisting, they take it as like, oh, you're personally attacking them. And they would cry and like, oh, victimize and blah, blah, blah. And one time I was working at Victoria's Secret. I was working at a Victoria's Secret. I won't say what city. I've worked at multiple locations, but I was working at Victoria's Secret and it was a coworker. and they're crying in the back room, and I walk in the back room, and they've only ever seen me be very, very sweet, very, like, jovial. I walk back there, and they're like, "Oh, you'll never believe what happened." I said, "You're right, I won't. You're crying again?" And they're like, "What?" I said, "Girl, this is an issue. Maybe this is not the right place for you to work because you keep having issues. And I'm not going to allow you to make me an issue as well. So I'm going to cut this conversation. I just came back here for some lotion." I got the lotion and I left. The manager heard me say that. The manager heard me say that. Because as I was walking out, she was walking in. I was like, and she was like, like, you just, I said that. I did. I said that. I said that. And you know what happened after that? The manager told me that I should have my own store. I came in there as a makeup specialist, and I was really only there to boost the sales. That's it. I was the one you bring to the store in order to quadruple the sales, exceed quota. You bring me in because I listen to people and I'm honest and I tell you what you should get and what you shouldn't. And I'm not there doing it for quota. I'm there genuinely listening to people. They used to ask me, "How do you sell all of this?" Well, I'm not selling, I'm just playing with makeup with the ladies. I don't know. Like, listen to them. Why the fuck you keep trying to sell them shit they don't need? Listen to them. Play with them. Have fun with them with no expectation of them buying shit from you. And because I approached it in that way, I promise you, everything I use on every single person I work on, they bought all of it, regardless of their budget. And I'm just like, "Girl, break it up in 2, 3 purchases. Come back next week. There's a sale next month. Wait for that." I tell people. My boss was like, "You can't tell people these things." Why not? Well, because no, that's why they're buying from me, because I'm telling them the fucking truth. I'm not in front of the store telling everyone, but if you're playing with me and we quiet, I will whisper that to you. "Girl, don't buy it tonight. Still, sale starts in 2 days. You get 50% off." Mhm. See, life will reward you for your honesty, your integrity, and your unwillingness to continue taking bullshit, unnecessary bullshit. It will reward you because those are lessons being learned, mastered, applied to your in real life circumstance. There is no point in taking any classes or lessons that you are not going to apply to your life. That's like earning a freaking doctorate and not doing anything with it. What good was that? Those are not cheap. Those are not cheap to earn. Why do that? For the ego boost? You just put yourself massively in debt for your ego. You should have used that money for therapy instead. Would have been much cheaper and would have served you longer in life. I'm just saying. If that's why you did it and you're not doing anything with it, and I'm saying intentionally, by choice, not doing anything with it, not applying it in any way, shape, or form, therapy would have been cheaper. I'm not even trying to be funny. Therapy would have been much cheaper. If you got that degree because your field needs it, because it will help you to increase your earning potential, I mean, that's a reasonable reason. That's a very valid reason. And many people do that. That's a very valid reason. But if you're going to go, therapy would have been much cheaper. You should have just did that. Like shit happens in life. It affects the way you see yourself. Do something to fix it rather than be ashamed and hide it, further compounding its negative effects on you. There will always be people who exist in any group that will shame you for what was done to you, something you couldn't even control, even in spiritual groups. It wasn't last year. I believe it was the year before, last winterish, autumn. I had a major life event happening, and it really affected me. It really destabilized my internal circumstance, and I ended up developing PTSD, diagnosed with it at this point. So I'm over here having my PTSD, fucking agoraphobia was developing. Not even joking. I was developing agoraphobia. And being in the presence of others, even online, it was more than what I could handle. But I somehow found the courage to go ahead and live stream because I didn't want to leave you guys for too long. It had been, I don't know, like how many weeks, 2 weeks or something, a week, 2 weeks. I don't know. I didn't want to leave you guys for too long. And I knew people were worrying because I'm always live streaming and suddenly I was gone. And I found the courage and I convinced myself that I could pretend like everything was okay and just be like, hi guys, I've just been busy. Everything is fine. And as soon as the camera started, as soon as the countdown for the camera to turn on and broadcast a live stream started, I broke down. And I wanted to end the live stream, but I was like, I'm here. There's a reason. You guys are my community. Maybe someone needs to witness this so they can find their courage to kind of push through. And I began sharing that I was struggling with combat level PTSD. That's what my psychiatric professionals had diagnosed me with, combat PTSD. And someone who I guess thought they were being spiritual while I was live was like, Emmy, that's bullshit. You just have a weak mind. You're going through an ascension process and you couldn't handle it. You have a weak mind. Bitch, I'm sorry, what? And I was so destabilized that I couldn't address that and I just pretended I didn't see it. Who does that? Marlene says, say her name. It was a public live stream. No. That person did that. This repeating of the things that I heard as a child, that my emotional instability, my aggressiveness was not a result of being in a home that created that type of survival instinct in me. It was because I was weak minded. You will have people who will try and justify the ways in which they very covertly tear you down during your most vulnerable moments. Keep going. Keep going. No, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm with a very good, very, very skilled, very well matched psychiatrist. She's so good. Oh my God. I adore her. I wish I could still keep seeing her. She was good. And because I did what I needed to do, my PTSD that was literally off the scale that was developing into agoraphobia. I had my panic disorder. I was experiencing chronic anxiety to the degree. This is not about a weak mind. It made me so mad because the psychological impact on my physiology, or the physiological impact because of my psychology. I have all of these home devices that are FDA approved as I was taking care of my brother. I have a second set. That means I have an EKG reader. Because of that PTSD, I was developing AFib. I had an irregular heartbeat. Not just fast. My heart was not beating right. That's not imagination. That's not just ascension. We have to let ourselves really listen to ourselves as we go through the things we go through. And you know what? That degree of PTSD that I had, the effect of someone else doing something to me, my psychiatrist was so proud of me. And she even said, she looks forward to our appointments. And she's not nice like that. She's like a tough love. She's former military, tough love type of person. And I remember she was just smiling so big. She's like, I look forward to our sessions. And I don't typically share this type of conversation with my clients, or with my patients, but you're a very different one. Everything I suggest, you apply it, and you apply it in a way that impresses me whenever I see you the next time. And I was like, really? She goes, yes. Do you realize how much you've improved in just 5 months? And I was like, I mean, for me, I usually would have only took 2 weeks and I should have been functional again. And she goes, PTSD like yours? Most people wouldn't resolve that in 5-10 years of intensive therapy. And I was like, really? That's a long time. That's so inefficient. Yeah. There I go, not giving myself the appropriate recognition from myself, the appropriate level of validation. How many times have you done that? Where you're not acknowledging how much you've accomplished just because you want to heal. There was no way I was going to allow myself to sit in that space of PTSD and let that motherfucker take any more of my life. And I told her that. I told her there is nothing I want more than to completely halt the effects this motherfucker had on my life. He has taken enough of my life. And I refuse to give any more. And whatever I have to do, from EMDR to all kind of different shit, CBT, not CBD, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, I will do it. I will do it. I will invest in myself in that way, because I'm finally realizing I am worth that effort. I am worth that investment in my time, my energy, my love. If you can give all of that away so freely to people you don't even know, people you do know and know they're not worthy of it, why can't you start giving that to yourself? Because there's a lie that lives inside your heart. This lie that you're not worth it, that you're just being an issue, that you're just creating problems because you can't this and you can't that. Maybe you can, but you don't want to. There's a difference between lacking capacity and just being unwilling. And if you're unwilling to do something, you have to listen to that, because that's probably your soul telling you not to do it. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. You have to release and relax the hold, that dark thought, those intrusive thoughts that aren't even yours. You have to let that go. You have to push that out. I've done quite a bit of work with individuals who struggle with suicidal ideology. Okay, I'm not a licensed clinical practitioner of anything. Like, I don't participate in those fields. I'm not licensed or certified in those. I deal strictly with energy and quantum understanding of the effects of the standing scalar wave repatterning. Your brain is a machine, it's a bio machine designed to repattern standing scalar waves. I have a very intimate knowledge and understanding of the way that functions. And so I've worked with a lot of people who go ahead and, have that type of struggle. It's a struggle. Okay, it's a struggle. And what I've seen is for most of those people, and I say most just because I don't want to deal with absolutes. I don't want to speak in absolutes. If I'm going to be completely honest, I have never come across a person who struggles with that ideology that does not have this precursor to that ideology existing. So, what am I talking about? Everyone who seriously considers and is capable of self harm has been shown through my body of work to be heavily infested and heavily under the influence of demonic beings. It is a very elevated and very advanced core program hacking of your brain, thought inception. You don't even know it's not your voice. Those are not your thoughts. Those are not your feelings. A trigger was utilized and then exploited, piggybacked onto that trigger using thought inception. I see it every time. It's not because of mental illness. It's because you're gifted and you didn't know. Because the gifts you developed to help protect you from hurting. Guess what empathy is? That's how you became an empath. You developed those skills, those abilities to survive the environment that traumatized you as a child. And the very thing that you use to survive is now the very thing that torments you. You feel other people's pain. You feel the pain of the world. And then when you have things that come and speak to you and you don't know how gifted you are, you begin to think pathology exists within you, disease state, that you're broken, you're flawed, you're evil. I promise you, you're not. Evil people don't consider these things. They don't consider these things. They don't question why they function in the way they do. A lot of people who struggle with these types of things are good people who are highly gifted and just did not receive the support, did not have the understanding, did not this, did not that, did not have the opportunity to be reborn from the shadows from which they retreated into for safety. They then began to repel the very thing that could keep them warm during the coldest of nights. They began to fear what that fire would do, and so they blew out their own candle, thinking they would harm someone. They began to refuse to accept the elevation of their nature, the elevation of their capacity, capability, ascension mechanics. They began to refuse assistance from the celestial realms and the galactics. They fell into a trap of believing they're this delicate flower incapable of anything. A rose as it is can protect itself. So they began to think that the shadow work was the issue, that they called in the dark things, that they are hurting for what? Because they're a bad person. I promise you, you're not. You might have made decisions and acted upon things in a way that was not in full alignment with the gravity of your integrity, the purity of it. But please don't hide from yourself the goodness that you actually are. Allow yourself to progress, to move forward out of that space where the codes themselves have become inverted, corrupted, distorted. Distorted codes cause tremendous, tremendous issues if it's not recognized and properly addressed. Prime example of this, MTHFR multi-gene mutation. MTHFR multi-gene mutation. What is that? It's the motherfucker gene mutation. MTHFR multi-gene mutation. It has a lot to do with people who are extremely high frequency and have the capacity to make the transition into a quantum divergent state. They're born neurotypical or neurodivergent. And then as they progress through life, they then begin to build the capacity to shift, to upgrade into a quantum divergent state. Stages, steps. Creates a lot of problems. MTHFR gene mutation is slowly, very slowly, ridiculously slowly, being seen as a potential genetic precursor for adverse reactions to certain medical things. I can't talk about those things because they won't let me. But yeah, it causes you to be more predisposed to also developing, immune disorders, autoimmune disorders, psychological disorders, things like that. Yep. All just because a couple genes were acting a fool. They flipped around, right? Communication is key, but there's no communication being had. So I guess right now, trying to find the courage to speak up, this is a message that someone is trying to find the courage to speak up or maybe just reach out. It's time to take action. Yeah, see. Maybe you don't have to know what to say. Maybe you just need to say hi. Hello. 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 How are you? Prosperity lies ahead. A lot of struggle lies ahead if you let your past hold you back. So don't let your past hold you back. Show the world the real you, but here you are hiding away, not wanting anyone to see what it is you're going through that's cultivating you further, ripening your fruit. Be bold and make the first move. You got to make the first move because it's time to take action. I need some action, tender satisfaction. My chemistry is flowing. Can you cause a chain reaction? Action. Boo doo boo doo poo. You are good enough. You are, though. You're good enough as you are. The people who are capable of helping you as you heal through this see you exactly as you are. They want nothing from you outside of the opportunity to help you, to be a quiet space for you to lay your head, to be a sanctuary for your tired heart and soul. That's all they want. Now, the people who are trying to heal you, those are people who are doing shit out of ego and they doing too much. They doing too much. Steer clear of those people. There are people who exist who offer to help just so they can take claim, take ownership of how much you accomplish as you heal yourself. I know people like that. I knew people like that because fuck that. I'm good off that. I don't play with people like that. Like, no, you're out. You're out. Yeah. You are out. Da-da-da. I climbed the mountain and I turned around and I saw your reflection in a snow-covered hill. Well, the landslide brought you down. Mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? And I saw your reflection in a snow-covered hills. Well, a landslide brought you down. Okay. So, final card of the day. No whammy, no whammy. No whammy, big words. No whammy, no whammy. Okay. Mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? And I saw your reflection in a snow-covered hills. Oh, that's sweet. Little landslide brought you down. Okay, this is going to be intense. It's a sense that someone feels as though they've fallen from grace and that that fall is irreparable. You just got to stand up. You just got to stand up. That's all you got to do. But if you're going to allow your fear of not being enough to cripple you, then you're going to be stuck there. No one can help you out of that. All right. Here goes. Card number 13, Arise. Wings of hope languish from lack of use. When wings dissipate and weaken, life begins to lose its value. Every cell in your body is created to rise to challenges. Your life is meant to confront everything that holds you captive. Don't sit at the bottom of the well, not caring about salvation. Listen to the voice within calling to you. Reach for eminence beyond your own maturity. Reach for Emmy. Don't. I dance before you in sacred spectacle, hoping to garner your attention. Look at me, I cry to your ailing spirit and despondent flesh. Look at me. If you were to look up, you would see that I am a mirror of your own being, your light, your heart, your spirit, your all. Yes, there is pain. Yes, there's a letting go taking place, and you're frightened and uncertain sometimes. But you make this mean something that it doesn't. It means that you are to turn your head away from what is dying. Do this gently but firmly. Turn your head towards what is living. Look at me. I will show you the truth, and you shall laugh your deepest belly laughter with so much glee, sharing in my secret that the only force at work in your life is unconditionally loving divinity. I see in you a divine wild child and sacred heart. You have gumption, chutzpah, guts. You dare to live and love where others only see pain. You dare to believe that everything will somehow work out where others see only what they judge to be wrong. You see love where others ply fear. You seek freedom where the world still buys into manipulation and propaganda. Don't lose heart, beloved wild child. Dare to believe. You are right to do so. It's the divine rebel in you that refuses to surrender hope. Give up the fight, perhaps, the battle that comes from a place of fear, but never give up your hope. That hope in your heart, that optimism and patience for growth into love creates a light within you that helps the world see through darkness. It becomes a candle that shimmers contentedly upon the windowsill of your heart temple. There it is, more obvious even in darkness. The stars do appear to shine brighter at night, beloved, but don't be consumed by your nightmares. They will pass with the coming dawn, you'll see. Don't give them too much stock. Instead, put your attention towards that defiant candle of hope that burns as its nature and purpose within you. Can you sense its warmth even in the presence of cold fear? It shall warm you now. And if not, then I come to remind you you're a blazing angel. You're filled with holy fire and you shall prevail. The joy of you, the expanse of you, you fill my own heart with your magnificent essence. I see and know the great beloved in you. There the great beloved is looking out at me from behind your eyes. I see the candlelight of your heart temple flicker within your gaze. That is what the candle of hope honors. The workings of the great beloved, so creative and crazed with love for you, that all circumstances of your life, down to the tiniest detail, are evoked out of love. Love out of passionate desire takes you from despair into hope, from holding on to letting go, from turning away to opening up. So the great beloved takes you across the moonlit ocean into the temple of the cosmic heart. Here, an eternal flame burns bright with hope, igniting the light within the hearts of all of humanity. You're being asked to trust. Oh, that's hard. I felt that. You're being asked to trust. How do you trust something you know can destroy you? Because if it were to turn you away, the one sacred place left in your heart, the one sacred place left in your life, in your world, on the earth, amongst humans, to be turned away from that, that's a distraction that's hard to survive. Yet you're being asked to trust, to gently lay to rest the suffering that has been, perhaps because of what you have labeled as a failure, the doubt, the losses, and setbacks. They are so little in the greater scheme of you. Put them aside, allow them to rot and become fertilizer for life, but do not try to keep them alive beyond their earthly expiry date, lest you become tainted or poisoned by the rot. Let them go and instead focus on what is alive now. Can you sense that before you is a great being of light, a greater pathway opening up? That is truth, blazing angel. This is truth. Take the step. So easy is it when the light of the heart is felt within, reminding you of your own divine nature. The world is here for you to experience so that you may realize divinity in its majesty, mystery, and love, more so than ever. All serves that sacred purpose, so embrace it. Find your faith. Be at peace. Know that no matter what appears to be, all is well. You are so loved, it cannot even begin to be translated sufficiently into words, but it can be transmitted from my heart to yours, just as the sun catches dried tinder and sets it aflame. This oracle comes with a message for you. Arise. You've been downtrodden for long enough now. Perhaps you've been feeling defeated, put upon, underestimated, or walked over in mind, body, or spirit by others or your own doubts and fears. Enough now. You are liberated through the hope in your heart, the defiant optimism that buoys your spirit and demands that you shall have your dawn. You shall rise like the sun and begin anew now. Step up. It's your time. Ooh, ooh. Ooh. Mm. This part right here. You are so loved. It cannot even begin to be translated sufficiently into words, but it can be transmitted from my heart to yours, just as the sun catches dried tinder and sets it aflame. I think we need to do a little bit of energy work, a little bit before I go. Maybe it's time for you to feel have a tangible experience of what Omni love is, the love of creation itself, right? Have you ever felt that? Have you ever felt the way creation loves you? It's not like a human love. It's something that's tangible, something that you can just feel through your entire body. It becomes a visceral experience. Have you ever felt what it feels like to truly be loved? I think you should feel that. I think I want to help you feel that. I think I want to make it possible for you to experience that if you've never experienced it before. So let's go ahead and find a song. We're going to find a song. I'm going to do some energy work. We'll use this song. All right. If you guys would like to feel this, do hashtag, I was going to say fire, but Michael says flame. Hashtag flame in the comments. This energy work will be calibrated to those who put hashtag flame in the comments. And my usual disclaimer, if you have ever been malignant towards me, not accidentally, I'm talking about on purpose, you intended to be hurtful, harmful to me at some point, and I have removed you from my existence, you will not receive any of this because I will not give you any of my energy any further. But you can watch everyone else experience the love of creation. You, though, I will not give you any of the energy. You can find another way. It's not going to be with me or through me. Okay? I want to normalize us being responsible for our energy and who we allow to experience our energy. All right. Let's get started. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Breathe deep and low or slow. Breathe deep and slow. If you're watching the recording, put hashtag flame in the comments to receive this. Okay. Here goes. Wrong song. Breathe deep and slow, please. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Allow yourself to focus on your breath, bringing in truth and personal power, exhaling the darkness of the ways you don't believe in yourself. As you continue to breathe, I'll begin the energetic portion. My energy will always honor your sovereignty without permission from your highest self. None of this will affect you. Feel the top of your head begin to tingle. Feel the tingles like a shower down your body. Gently cleansing you of your doubt, cleansing you of your fear, cleansing away the belief that you don't deserve to receive. Let it wash everything away. Feel the earth respond to you and your need. Feel energy rising up from the soles of your feet, up your legs, up your thighs. Feel it rise up your abdominal region and your back. Feel this energy rising up to your shoulders, down your arms as it climbs up your neck, gently caressing your head, your face, up to your crown. Feel pulsations begin at the top of your head. I've created a sealed channel for creation to come and greet you. Allow the emotions to rise, but focus savoring this moment. I cannot sustain this frequency too long. Feel my hand on your chest. This experience is real. You are that loved. Feel my hand on your face. I am sitting right in front of you. You deserve to be loved this way. To be loved so deeply. That no time or space prevent you from feeling it. Let the hurt go. It's already taught you what you need to learn. Let it go so you have both hands to integrate the wisdom. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's no reason to be afraid. You are protected in everything you do, everywhere you go. Take a deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Allow yourself to come back to center. Rejoin me in this space that we share. How do you guys feel? This is not love that you have to earn. This is love that's set aside for you. This is a love that's been waiting to be allowed back in. It's just sat there patiently, waiting for the time that you will allow it. It's very important that you begin allowing yourself to receive what is rightfully yours. Abundance comes in many forms, not just money. You are abundant in love and peace and stability. And so long as you keep denying this, denying yourself what is rightfully yours, you will hurt and you will suffer. You'll feel alone. You'll feel discarded, unimportant. And those are the furthest thing from the truth. If you need to watch this again, watch it. So we're at 1:58:50. I would say go back to about 1:45, hour 45 mark, somewhere around there. Just watch that part. You don't have to watch the whole thing. Watch it every time you feel alone. Bookmark it, save it. Forward it to the people you love that you can't reach. Don't even explain. Just say, you need to watch this. You need to listen to this. Just close your eyes and listen. We need to do something to heal. And if we don't have the capacity to heal by ourselves, we need to allow in the people who have the capacity to help us heal. the people who have enough courage that they can lend us some of theirs until we find our own. Look how many of you are saying you needed this. We are so disconnected as societies, as family groups, as friend groups, so disconnected as life partners. The reconnection is being initiated. As part of that process, the wound has to first be cleansed. That's going to be painful. It's going to show you the parts of you that allowed you to be hurt, the parts of you that invited and hosted the very people who were willing to hurt you. You'll see the ones that you pushed away that had no intentions outside of just loving you. You don't have to hold that against yourself. It's time to accept that you chose to learn in a way that would give you the greatest potentiality of learning. And that's it. That's it. No mistakes, no missteps, none of that. You've learned what you've needed to learn. Get back up. Speak your truth. And the more they want you quiet, the louder you need to become. Never allow someone else's fears and distortions to drown out the truth as it comes out of your mouth before traveling to your ears. Listen to yourself for once. And remember, there is a love that transcends the human's capacity to understand love. Remember how you felt sitting in this space with me. That's the bare basics. That was merely an introduction to your divinity. That was the bare basics. There's a love far more profound than that waiting to be received. Do the work that's necessary to give you the ability to call it back home. You're the only place that's home. Within you, within your heart, within the throne room of your heart, in your lap as you sit on your throne. That's the only place that's home. So let it come home. Let it do what it does. Let it find its way back. Let it find its way back to you. Okay? I love you guys. I love you in ways that can't be quantified, in ways that go against societal norms. I love you in the way that can liberate you from your own fears and limitations. And I hope that always, despite the way it's conveyed and sometimes the way it's received, that you always have some understanding that everything I do is rooted in love for you. Literally everything I do is rooted in genuine omni love for you. I gotta get going. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'll see you guys soon. If you want me to do energy work on you. I'm going to be doing, where is it? Where is it? Nope. I don't know where it is. Okay. Yeah. Don't know where it is. There it is. Thank you, Lindsay. If you would like energy work, if you'd like readings, simply go to meevolving.com/shop/222FC for fire ceremony. I'm going to be live on February 2nd at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for a fire ceremony. If you've never experienced one of my fire ceremonies, it gets lit. It's hot. It's popping. It's all that. Okay. So join me. You don't have to pay for anything. You can join the fire ceremony. But if you have a heightened need, if you're working on your abundance, if you're working on self healing, if you're working on empowering yourself and getting through the situation you're in, this is the fire ceremony to go to get energy work on, at, whatever you want to call it. This portal, the 2-2 and 2-2-2 portals, they're very important. I cannot emphasize that enough. And again, I cannot go into why. That irritates me, but y'all know how it works. So I hope you enjoyed this time with me, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. If you would like to learn how to work energy the way I do, please do feel free to check out my academy. Yes, I am a teacher. I am a professor for the Quantum Divergent Foundation. We call it the K33 Academy, where I teach quantum chaotic sciences and their applied biospiritual theories. I was not taught this, but I definitely have the capacity to teach it. I love you guys. I'll see you again very soon. Bye, everyone.